Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. Hello, my name is Terry, and welcome to my kitchen. So, today we are going to be making some air fried coconut shrimp. I'm real excited about those. Don't eat coconut shrimp too often, but I decided let's do something quick and easy because we are going to have a great combo today. It's going to be our first edition of something I've been wanting to implement in a while, Fitness Friday. So, with Fitness Friday, every time we do this, probably once a month or so, depending on how everybody likes it, we'll have a topic related to fitness, and I'll start the conversation with a fitness topic that I choose or one of you suggest. And then from there, I'll open up the floor for people to ask questions. Because as you all know, I am a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach. So not everybody has access to those types of people all the time. So I want to be able to, provide some value to you all. This will definitely be interactive. So as it always is. So definitely come in, introduce yourself. I got some comments I'm going to get to in a few minutes in the chat. Let me know where you are, who you are. And then, of course, you can always ask questions throughout the live, but there will be a dedicated portion for all of your fitness related questions. Okay. So, first, let me start out with the chat because we got some people here letting themselves be known. We got Mona. She says, "Hey, my sis. Hello, girl. Welcome. Happy Friday." She says, "Please like the video." Yes, y'all, make sure you like the video on your way in. That definitely helps with the algorithm. Make sure everybody finds out where the real party is. Okay. Who else we got? Smoke and Talk. What's up, family? Baltimore in the building. Yes, Smoke and Talk is in the building. Thank you so much. First of all, before I shout out Smoke and Talk, I have to shout out Mona's channel. Mona, please go ahead and drop your link in the chat. Mona has two channels, one for herself and then one with her children. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's a former social worker, she's on her fitness journey. So Mona has a lot to say, a lot of experience, and I love her content. So definitely make sure you check her out. Also, make sure y'all check out Smoke and Talk. They have a podcast. They're from Baltimore. They talk a lot about relationships and love and Black stuff. So make sure y'all go check them out. November Sun, she says, "Hello, my sis and Mona. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining, November Sun. I think I know I've seen your name in other chats. I think you was here the other day, right? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the party. Smoke and Talk. Thank you so much for the shout out. I love them. They so cool. I enjoy their content, y'all. Make sure y'all follow Smoke and Talk. If you could just go ahead and drop the links in the chat. Who else we got? Trinity. Yes. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Thanks so much for joining. Who else we got here? Hello, everyone from Celeste. She says, "Happy Friday. Happy Friday, sis. Thank you so much." All right, y'all. So, yes, go ahead, have fun in the chat. If you have any questions, if you have any fitness related questions, make sure you put like question and then your question so that I can make sure I spot that. I can see all the comments coming, but once y'all get real active in the chat, all the content creators know this stuff just keeps coming at your face and it's hard to keep track. So if you do have a fitness related question based on what I'm going to be talking about or just anything, feel free to put that in the chat at any time. But we will have a segment specifically related to questions and I can answer them for you. So today I wanted to start out by discussing how to start your fitness journey. I have been transparent on my channel and letting everybody know I have been through one hell of a fitness journey. Almost a decade that I honestly can say that I've been actively working on my fitness. I've lost a whole lot of weight. At my highest, I was over 300 pounds. At my lowest, I was about 160. So I want to be able to help people start their fitness journeys out on the right track. I don't want y'all to make all the not excuses as well, but all the mistakes that I made starting out. Like, it's so much to this business, to this industry, to this way of life. And I see a lot of people making a lot of mistakes. Some of them I've made and some of them I've learned as I've gotten into this field professionally. Like, oh, y'all don't want to necessarily do that. So this is what I'm here for. I want to be able to, be a resource to y'all. We got more people in the chat. Let's see. Yvette says, "Hey, y'all. Hey, Yvette. Thanks for joining. Happy Friday." Let's Let's see. Question. I want to know the pros and cons of intermittent fasting versus dieting. I actually will get to that. Let me start this so that I can remember to go back to this question. So yes, that's a good question. That's going to take me on a whole tangent. So I ain't going to answer that question just yet. I will answer in just a few minutes though. So to kind of give like a context, or not context, I'm sorry, to get some type of order and to be organized, I decided, so that our theme for Fitness Friday is, getting your journey started off on the right track. So I decided to give y'all 5 tips to begin your fitness journey. And keep in mind, fitness journey can look like anything. It's not just about losing weight. Some people want to gain weight. Some people want to lose body fat. Some people want to gain, lean muscle mass. Some people want to hit specific health markers that they have to hit. Lots of different reasons, lots of different things that people are doing in their fitness journey. So not everybody's fitness journey is going to look the same. However, these 5 tips will help you no matter what your fitness journey is. Okay, so to start out our shrimp, before I go over our journey, our goals, or our tips. Y'all, I wanted to have shrimp that was already peeled. I was going to keep the tails on, that was already peeled. But unfortunately, this morning, I could not find any that was, ready. So I went ahead and bought some jumbo shrimp. It's about a pound. I want to say if you're looking at the ratio, it'll be like 16 to 25 shrimp per pound. So nice size shrimp, not too big, not too small. This recipe is going to be real quick. So since we got time and I want to be able to answer your questions, I'm going to go ahead and do everything. So I got to peel the shrimp. I'm only peeling off the body of the shell, and then we're going to keep the tails on. So yes. All right. We got more people in the chat. I see Berry Bell. She says hello. I'm going to pull you up in a minute. Okay. So my first tip when getting started with your fitness journey is goal setting. So personally, because I've been in the corporate world for a little bit, I have learned the value of SMART goals. And we talk about, if you worked in any type of corporation, y'all have heard SMART goals before, whether it's you an executive or you working all the way down in customer service. Lord, corporate America, they love to talk about SMART goals. Those of you who may not be familiar with SMART goals are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So an example of a SMART goal would be like, I want to lose 20 pounds within 4 months, or by August, or by a specific time period. It's specific, it is measurable, it's relevant to my health goals, and it's definitely achievable. 20 pounds in 4 months is achievable, unless you like super tiny. But for the average person, it's probably achievable. It's relevant, and like I said, and it's timely. I have a specific time frame in which I want to achieve that goal. And one of the reasons why I think that goal setting, specifically something like a SMART goal when it comes to fitness, is good is because you have to have a reason why you're doing this. Look, I will always keep it real. Exercising can suck sometimes, okay, y'all? It can. No matter if I was 300 pounds or at 160 at my best physical fitness with my highest strength level, working out ain't easy. It always is going to burn. It's always is going to hurt. It's never going to get easy. So when you in there running on the treadmill, picking up 300 pounds deadlifting, for the man bench pressing your 350, your 225, when you're doing all that, you got to have a reason why. Otherwise, you're going to be like, I don't want to wake up in the morning and do this. So you have to have a reason why. And so I always tell my clients every time they start with me, what are your goals? What are your goals? I need to be able to help you achieve your goals, but you got to know what you want. Because otherwise you're going to give yourself lots of excuses to stop the whole journey. And anybody who's done any kind of fitness journey will tell you it's a process. It is definitely a process. And you got to have some kind of skin in the game, so having a goal, no matter how big or small, in my opinion, helps this whole fitness situation go a little bit better. I'm still peeling this shrimp, y'all. Like I said, I'm trying to keep the tails on. I already had one tail that came off. Let's see. I got a few people in the chat saying some things before I go to my next tip. Barry Bell, she says, hello. Hey, girl. Hey. Mona says she loves some SMART goals. I know that's right, girl. But Smoking Talk says, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. Okay, you want to lose 20 pounds. So we got to turn that into a SMART goal, sir. SMART goal. We need something time specific. I got my SMART goal. I know that's right, girl. Oh, I got a compliment. Loving the new hair color. Thank you. I was a color model for a cosmetologist in my area. And she did like a class for some color that she sells. And me and another young lady were color models for her. And it was an interesting little situation. I really enjoyed that class. I loved all the information they were giving. And then also, I got my hair colored. So I have never had my hair this light and bright. A lot of people giving me compliments, so I'll take it. Thank you very much. I'm still getting used to it. By the time I get used to it, it's going to be time to cut my hair again, and my hair will be back black. All right, y'all. So I got one more shrimp. I'm going to take the shell off. And then I've already rinsed these shrimp. I've already cleaned them, but I'm going to go ahead and do like another slight rinse. And then we're going to make sure we dry the shrimp off completely. You want to start with, the most amount of moisture as possible gone off the shrimp. So I'm going to rinse these, and then we're going to start with our second tip. All right. Try to get as much water as you can off of these, because we want all the moisture gone. So I'm going to use some paper towels and try to get the moisture off. Let's see. Miss Peach Love says, hey, y'all, sorry I'm tardy. Had a meeting. That's okay, girl. Take care of your business. All right. I'm going to take these gloves off. I'm going to use a few different gloves today. Y'all remember, I cannot handle raw shrimp with my bare hands. If y'all see me handling this raw shrimp, put alert in the chat, because I don't want no welts on my hands today. I can eat shrimp, but for some reason lately, as I've gotten older, the raw shrimp and me, we are not friends anymore. So, all right. So the second tip that I have for getting started with your fitness goals or your fitness journey is create a realistic plan to achieve your goals. I know we've all heard the saying that goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Have y'all heard that before? I've heard it. And it's nothing more relevant than that when it comes to fitness. Again, there's nothing wrong with like, I just want to start exercising and getting, just working on my fitness. And there's nothing wrong with having like vague goals and you just want to get into like a healthier lifestyle because it's going to benefit you. Perfectly fine. But like, I still believe that like you should have a goal. And if you have those goals, even if it's something as vague as I want to live a healthier lifestyle. Okay, what does that look like? Then once you know what that looks like, then you can go to the steps to be able to reach that goal. Also, the thing about it is like, if we take it back to the whole SMART goal situation, the M in SMART goal is measurable. How are you going to measure your progress or track your progress if you don't really have a plan of action? So your plan of action will be able to help you get to that goal. So let's say our pseudo SMART goal in the beginning was, I want to lose 20 pounds in 4 months. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to have a nutrition plan, calculate my macros, figure out what I'm going to be eating, meal prep, have a little specific thing, what you want to do with the meal prep. Working out. What is that working out going to look like? This is another thing. Part of what I just said, creating a plan of action, but making it realistic. Y'all, we all grown. We have jobs or careers. We have families, we have responsibilities outside of our jobs, even outside of our families, friends, everything, right? Life happens all the time. So you don't want to set yourself up for failure. I love people who want to start their fitness journey with me. They allow me to work with them, whether it's in person or online, and they come in ready to go. Like, just let's go, balls to the walls, we all in. And like, as a newer trainer, I was excited about that and I was ready to go, right? But then as I got more experienced, I realized, hold your horses, cowboy. Hold your horses, because that is the quickest way to set yourself up for failure. This is the thing. Not only is, it's hard to get that, to be able to stay on track nutritionally, but when it comes to working out, there are so many excuses in the book that you can use to not work out, right? So the first thing is going to be big things like, oh, my job, I have to work late. Cool, perfectly understandable. So you can't make it to the gym on time, or you can't make it to the gym that day. Then the next thing, oh, my child, they sick, right? So you can't, go ahead and get to the gym because they sick and you got to take care of a sick kid. Then next thing you know, it's just going to start being little things and little things and little things. And next thing you know, it's going to be 10, 12 days done past and you've maybe worked out one time. But in your head, you wanted to work out 6 days a week in the gym, 4 hours. You want to do 20 minutes of cardio for 5 days a week. You want to do all of these things. And it's just like, that's not even possible. My lifestyle does not allow me to do that. So when I say setting a realistic plan, something you know that you can do. I know that I can get to the gym 4 days a week. I really could do more, but I'm being realistic. Rest is important, so always prioritize rest. I am seasoning our shrimp. I forgot one of my seasonings. So I started out with some onion powder, and now I'm just going to add some garlic powder. I got some paprika, and I'm going to I'm going to wait on that. But yeah, so I know I can get to the gym 4 days a week. I know that I can drink anywhere between 64 and 100 ounces of water a day. Yes, a gallon is always the goal, but I know me. And I know that setting myself up, especially right now where I'm at, talking about I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day. And the next thing you know, I'm getting defeated and I'm getting upset because I didn't make it to the gym for that 5th day I claim I was going to do, or I only got to 96 ounces of water as opposed to 128. Like, you don't want to set these huge, huge goals, especially in the very beginning. You starting from scratch. Let's keep it real. Especially if you were somebody like me who was a couch potato. I keep it real, y'all. I wasn't always in the gym. I wasn't always one who wanted to walk far. I would find the closest parking space in the parking lot. If we had to go somewhere that was going to be walking all day, I'm like, oh God, I'm probably complaining about it. Like, I haven't always been somebody who's extremely active. So it would have been mind-boggling and very disappointing in myself if I wouldn't have been able to stick with a 7 days a week goal or something like that. Plus of all, it's not necessary. It's just not necessary. Yes, Mona, thank you so much for adding the tips in the chat. Let's see. Yvette says, I need someone to hold me accountable. We're going to get there. That's a good point, though. Have a time frame. Yes, absolutely. Smoke and talk. FedEx you a plate. I got you. Start small and build up slowly. Absolutely. Especially when it comes to like the nutrition part, y'all. Like, I won't go there because that's going to be another tip. So I'm not going to dig too deep into the nutrition, but yes, definitely start small. If you're somebody who's never worked out, let me give you some easy examples. If you're somebody who's never really worked out, I'm mincing some garlic or grating some garlic into the shrimp. I only have, this is 2 cloves so far. So I have about 2 cloves of garlic. I went ahead and grate it into the garlic. I'm going to also add a little bit of this Grace's Jamaican dried jerk seasoning. You can get this type of seasoning usually anywhere that sells like Jamaican products, so like an international market. Y'all know I love going to my what you call it, Asian market. So that's where I get all of my, authentic Jamaican seasons that are imported. I left out something else I wanted to add in here. So y'all know I love my fresh herbs, but sometimes some recipes they don't call for fresh herbs, or it just doesn't make any sense. And something like this, it doesn't make any sense using fresh herbs in like something that we're going to air fry, or even if you're going to deep fry it, don't do that. Use dried herbs. The oil will go ahead and activate or rehydrate the dried herbs, and so you'll still get that flavor. So I'm going to add in a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit of dried cilantro. So we're going to have like a little different flavor to our shrimp a little bit. It's not necessarily going to be your typical coconut shrimp. This is why I like cooking at home. You can experiment with flavors. This is how you're going to be able to reach them fitness goals, because you're going to be eating stuff that you actually like, stuff that has real flavor, right? So this is what we're doing. So like I said, with the shrimp, we went ahead and added our Jamaican dry jerk seasoning. This is Grace. This is a Jamaican brand. Some garlic powder, onion powder, and I think that was it. And the dry cilantro. Okay. I'm going to take these off and let them sit there. All righty. Let's see. What's Mona got to say? When we make our step size measurements too big in the beginning, we'll be too hard on ourselves when we don't meet those goals, and then we may not take any action or stunt our progress. Absolutely. That's the whole point. That's what I was trying to get at with the whole making the plan realistic. Even the goal. Like, you don't want to say something. I'm going to be honest. I hate when people come to me like, what's the fastest I can lose 40 pounds? First of all, how long did it take you to gain the 40 pounds? Okay. So, like, don't come here trying to lose 40 pounds in 3 weeks. It's not possible. Even if you say you want to lose 40 pounds in 2 or 3 months, that's going to be a very aggressive goal. Are you going to be willing? Are you going to be willing to do what it takes to lose that amount of weight in that short time period? It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of restriction. And in another video, I will talk about my fitness pet peeves, but that is one of my huge pet peeves when it comes to fitness, is trying to tackle these crazy, outrageous fitness goals. It requires you to do outlandish things to get there, right? That are not something that you can keep up. You're not going to be able to keep this lifestyle up. So how are you going to maintain this rapid weight loss, right? There's nothing wrong with losing weight rapidly to a certain extent. Depending on how much weight you have to lose, you will see in the very beginning, the weight is going to be dropping off. It's going to, encourage and all that kind of stuff. But you want to be able to make it realistic so that you can be able to maintain this weight loss, right? All right. So my third tip when beginning your fitness journey is track your progress. I can't scream this enough, y'all. I can't scream it enough. Okay, so for our shrimp, we're going to have 2 different batters. We're going to have a wet batter and we're going to have a dry batter. The wet batter is going to consist of mainly eggs, and then we're also going to add a little seasoning to the eggs just so it can have some flavor, right? Because y'all know me. I love trying to implement as much flavor as possible in my food, especially when we're talking about cooking for health, because just because it's healthier doesn't mean it has to be bland or boring. So I am cracking 2 eggs in my little bowl here. I'm going to create a little station to dip our wet, dip our dry, then we'll have our shrimp. Oh, wait. So I have 2 eggs in here. I'm going to add in a little bit of the green seasoning to these eggs. Just a tiny bit. You don't need a whole lot, y'all. Real little bit. Literally. That's maybe like a teaspoon. Okay, so just a tiny bit. My green seasoning, the recipe for this is on my channel. It is an herb-based all-purpose seasoning, no salt, no oil, and no sugar. So it's perfect for our cooking for health, right? All right. Also going to add in a little bit of lime juice. And I'm also going to add in this spoon is not going to fit in here. I need a small spoon. Okay. I'm also going to add in a very, very tiny bit of wet jerk seasoning. Like y'all, when I say this might even be like a half of a teaspoon. Very little. Just to add a little extra oomph flavor to it. The jerk seasoning, it has sodium in it, but we're not putting in a lot, so it's not going to, add too much sodium to our food. I thought I got me a fork. Maybe I didn't. So once I put those 3 things in there, I added the green seasoning, a little lime juice. You can put fresh lime juice. I just use some bottled lime juice. If you don't have lime, you could do lemon as well, but I kind of felt like I wanted that lime flavor, add a little bit of sourness and acidity to our shrimp. You know. All right. So that's our wet batter. And then for our dried batter, we're going to have a combination of panko breadcrumbs, and we are going to be using some shredded coconut. I got the unsweetened shredded coconut. I got this from Sprouts. You probably can find shredded coconut. I think pretty much every store sells it. So I'm going to use y'all. This notification, every time this notification said come off. Okay. Let me do the notification. And then I'll recognize the folks that have come into the chat in the comments. All right. Lord. Harold, we have a donation from our friend Real Bravado Network, a $100 Cash App donation. He says, bless the chef, bless you. Thank you so much, Real Bravado Network, for being such a huge, huge supporter of the channel. I really, really appreciate your support. He's a content creator here on YouTube, so make sure y'all check him out. He got a video, a live coming up that I put the notifications on. I can't wait for that video. It's coming up. It's like a part 2 of his I need a bigger bowl. It's like a part 2 of his last live with a bunch of women, Black women of all different ages, talking about their experiences with Black men. So that was our panko breadcrumbs. I put about a half a cup of those. And then we're going to do a half a cup and then a fourth of a cup. So I'm going to put 3/4 cups of our coconut. Again, this is unseasoned coconut, shredded coconut. You can get unsweetened, I'm sorry. You can get the sweetened kind, but it's going to be higher in carbs, sugar, and all that kind of stuff. Want to kind of stay away from as much added sugar as possible. So Mona's reminding us, make sure you like the video here. She says they want teas and weight trainers. Girl, you segueing into my fitness pet peeves. I'm going to it's going to be a little petty. So that's going to be a petty live a little bit. It's going to be educational. But you'll see this petty side of me because it just frustrates me. And it's more so my frustration comes from my concern for people, because I know what it looks like to achieve something and then like something that you've worked so hard to get, and then all of a sudden like it goes away. Like, oh my God, I'm backpedaling because you didn't do it right the first time. Those teas be killing me online. Yeah, it's one of our favorite rappers. His wife sells a tea, and I follow her, and oh my God, I can't stand it. I can't stand some of the things that I see, but it is what it is. Everyone's selling them. Everybody's selling them. Hello, Craig Lamar is in the building. Hey, Craig, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. All right, let me go ahead and add Real Bravado Network to the banner. Shout out to him. All right. Let's see. Add Real Bravado Network to for his donation, because you don't have to donate at all. You can just watch and learn. So I appreciate those of you who put in the extra effort for donating. And I'm going to always invest back into the channel. So we went ahead. We have about 3/4 cups of coconut, a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. I recommend using panko, not regular breadcrumbs. And then also make sure you get the unseasoned ones, because if you get the seasoned or panko breadcrumbs, your stuff will have a different flavor. And we want this to take on the flavors of everything that we have created today. We do not want it coming in tasting like meatballs and we trying to have like a tropical island flavor. All right. So the third tip, like I said, was tracking your progress. Tracking your progress can look a variety of different ways. I'm going to give you guys my biggest ways to track your progress. The first ways that I think is the best way to track your progress is taking pictures. Taking pictures every single week in the same outfit, from the same angle, and the same day of the week in the morning is the best way to see where you are. I remember when I first started working out with a personal trainer, and he wanted me to send him progress pics every single week. Like every Monday was like his check-in day. And so I went ahead and took a picture in the same top and bottom. I was in the same area in my bathroom every day, from the front or from the side and from the back, with my arms up. You can see everything. I could see the way my body was shrinking, how the muscles were coming in, everything. And so even when the scale didn't move, I could see a difference in those pictures. I'll put them side to side from the first week to the current week, and even from week to week. And it helped so much for me to stay motivated, because the scale does not always tell you what's going on in your body. The scale can just give you an idea of what you're doing in terms of your fitness, but taking pictures is a huge way to track your progress. Also, taking measurements. What's up, Real Bravado Network? He is in the building. Thank you so much again for your donation and being the stream sponsor today. Hello, Miss Gardner. She's here and says hello. Thank you so much for being here. Craig says, Real Bravado Network, you the real MVP today. Yes, thank you. Okay. So the next thing, taking your measurements. So want to get one of those little measuring tapes, measure your waist, measure around your bust for women. You can measure your arms, the thickest part of your arm, your bicep and tricep, the thickest part of your thigh. You can measure around your waist or your hips. So especially if you're trying to grow them glutes, ladies, measure them glutes, see what's going on, see if they're getting bigger or if they're getting smaller. If you in a weight loss situation, they probably gonna get a little smaller, but don't worry, you can train so that you don't lose all your buns, all right? You can train so you lose all your buns. And then the last way that I tell people to track their progress is using like apps like MyFitnessPal and other little gym apps. If you're working with a trainer, you might be familiar with Trainerize. You can be able to not only track your nutrition, but also track what you're doing in the gym. See where you're progressing, see week to week how much stronger you're getting, because that is huge in fitness. See how much longer you're able to stay on the treadmill. See how much longer you're able to stay on that Stairmaster. Like, those are all different ways to track your fitness goals. And those are all different ways to, again, keep you motivated, keep you ready, keep you disciplined so that you can actually reach your goal. All right, y'all. Let's get ready to build our shrimp. I'm going to go ahead and add in the overhead camera so you can see me with our dredging of the shrimp. All right. Okay, let's get this stuff out the way. So for our coconut shrimp, we're going to be going through a little assembly line. I'm going to first dip the shrimp in our wet batter, which consists of eggs, a little bit of green seasoning. The green seasoning recipe is on my channel. Also, I put in a tiny bit of wet Jamaican jerk seasoning. And then I also have a little lime juice in here. So we're going to have our wet batter. Then we'll have our dry batter. And I'll get a little plate. We'll put those on there. So that way we can get ready to put them in the air fryer. Of course, we're putting it in the air fryer because we're cooking for health, right? Y'all know I cannot. Here's my third pair of gloves for the day. You know what? Smoke and talk. I'm not pulling up your comment. If you're not on YouTube, then you can't see Smoke and Talk's comment. Come and join us on YouTube. I'm not fooling with Smoke and Talk today. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. So we already know what Smoke and Talk on today. Okay. All right. So our fourth tip, while I'm going ahead and building up our coconut shrimp. And don't forget, guys, this is a question and answer, but I'm almost done with my tips, and then you guys can go ahead and ask me questions. But my fourth tip, and someone, I believe either Mona or Yvette, they kind of mentioned this earlier. Fourth tip is nutrition is hands down the most important aspect of your fitness journey. Like, y'all, we cannot outwork a health or a terrible diet. I don't want y'all to be in the gym thinking that like you can work out for hours and hours and hours to try to work off, your poor choices in nutrition. And I don't want to demonize any type of food either, because that's a huge thing in the fitness community. And like people are so confused about what's healthy, what's not healthy. So I'm not one of those people that talk about good foods and bad foods. I've really kind of gotten away from that because I see the complex it gives people and how it really is not helping. So y'all see what I'm doing here. I'm putting my shrimp in our wet batter. And then I'm kind of packing on the dry batter, which is panko breadcrumbs and shredded coconut, packing that on to our shrimp. And then I'm just sitting them off to the side on a plate. These shrimp are going to be air fried. If you don't like coconut, you actually can still do the same recipe. Just don't add the coconut. Just only use panko breadcrumbs. It'll still be delicious because we're adding in lots and lots of flavor. I see Theo is in the building. Thanks so much, Theo, for joining, letting us know, hit that like button. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me on Friday afternoon. So yeah, back to nutrition. So this is the thing. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to neglect your nutrition. That is literally the biggest mistake that I see people doing when it comes to this thing here called fitness. Like, it's a lot of people who really think that like they can spend so many hours in the gym and that's going to cancel out the fact that they eat Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A every single day. Okay. This is the thing. Simply put, when it comes to nutrition, if you want to lose weight, you got to be in a caloric deficit. If you want to gain weight, you got to be in a caloric surplus. Period. End of story. Literally, the only reason why somebody cannot lose weight or gain weight, but lose weight even though they are really eating in a caloric deficit, is if they have medical problems. And when I say medical problems, I mean extreme things like you got thyroid disease, something wrong with your thyroid. For women, a lot of hormonal things can be going on. And that's why you might be having a hard time losing weight. All types of things, right? You can have like an autoimmune disease, which is causing you to not lose weight. But I'm going to keep it real, y'all. Most of us, that does not apply. It don't. Sorry. So and I'll get to that even more so in a little bit, but no. Anytime I have people, clients included, telling me, "Oh, I've been working out for 6 months or however long. I've been doing this, and the scale is not moving." My first question is always, "What are you eating? What is your nutrition looking like? What are you eating?" "Oh, I eat healthy." Okay. At that point, I'm going to start asking more questions because it's healthy is a relative term. I see. And so there's so many different things that you could be doing, so many different ways that you can eat. I want to bring up, I'll go ahead and answer this question right now. Trinity asked this question in the beginning of the live, and I said I would follow up later once we started talking about nutrition. She says, "I want to know the pros and cons of intermittent fasting versus dieting." Okay, so true tea. First of all, let me just define what intermittent fasting is. Intermittent fasting is when you are giving yourself a specific window of time to eat. Most people eat fat or eat when they're doing intermittent fasting, they do like a 19-16 split. So they're fasting for 16 hours and then they give themselves an 8-hour time frame to be able to eat. A lot of times you'll see people stopping eating at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and then they don't pick that back up to maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Really, the intermittent fasting, the only thing it's doing is just restricting the time frame in which you're eating. The only reason why, I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all, I have done intermittent fasting before. The only reason why people feel like they lose so much weight, or they do seem to lose a lot of weight with intermittent fasting, is because they are giving themselves a small window to eat. And so they're not even eating enough food so that they can't, like, they're restricting themselves. It's all a part of it's a certain different level of restriction. So instead of, okay, I just eat whenever. When I wake up, I eat, and then when I get hungry again, I eat again. No, you're only going to be able to eat between 11 and 7. So your first meal is at 11 o'clock. You eat breakfast or something, you probably find yourself full. Okay, cool. Then you might find yourself eating lunch again, eating lunch maybe 3 o'clock. Then you got to hurry up and eat dinner by 6, 7 o'clock, gonna get here real fast. So you don't have no more time. So in the beginning, yes, you find a lot of people dropping a whole lot of weight on intermittent fasting. And then you find a lot of people gaining weight once they stop fasting, because now they've opened the floodgates and they're eating at whenever. They're eating whenever. There's no real restriction on not only what they're eating, but the time frame in which they're eating. And so, of course, once you start consuming more food, you're going to gain weight, period. End of story. So in dieting, of course, we know there's so many different types of dieting. Most people these days, when you see intermittent fasting, you see a lot of people integrating intermittent fasting with the keto diet. So I find, and I've done that before too, I find that most of these people are intermittent fasting and they're also eating keto. So they're, again, dropping the weight like crazy. Intermittent fasting was implemented by some doctors a while ago for different reasons. I'm not going to say don't do it. I'm just going to say it's not something you want to do long term, because it's not something that you're going to be able to sustain. Sustainability is huge in fitness. One of the reasons why people find themselves gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, losing weight, gaining weight, is because they're doing different things that isn't something that they can keep up with. It's not something they can implement in their lifestyle long term. It's something to get to a means to an end. So I hope I answered your question. I know that I have a different mind frame when it comes to fitness and nutrition and all these different things. So if you feel, I'm not trying to shoot anybody's idea down, I'm just going to always give y'all the real when it comes to this life called fitness, because it's not easy. I know from personal experience it's not easy. I know from working with other people that it's not easy. And so I don't want, again, for people to set themselves up for failure. I really want people to succeed in fitness, and not even so much of losing a certain amount of weight or gaining a certain amount of muscle. It's more so about being healthy. What's going to be the best thing for you to be the healthiest you can be? Because if you focus on health, you can reach these goals. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. All right. All right. All right. All right. Derek, thank you so much for being here. Ha, he loves my bowls. Y'all know I'll talk about my kitchen stuff all day. Thank you so much, Theo, for being in the building. I don't know if I addressed you, but thank you guys so much for joining. We are making coconut shrimp. We're going to be air frying them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, I'm gonna dredge a few because I'm almost done with this dried seasoning. Just a few more, then we're going to be adding them into the air fryer. Let me know if y'all have some questions. We're almost to our question and answer portion of the live, but I said if you do have a question, go ahead and just put question in the chat and then ask your question. That way I can see it easily and I'll answer it because our last tip is coming up. Let's see. What does Trinity have to say? I love the answers and I agree. It stops people from snacking and grazing throughout the day, but it's a mental change that needs to happen. Absolutely. You hit on something that I talk about a lot on social media and also to my clients. The whole mental aspect of working out and fitness and eating right and being healthy. Like, we honestly in America, I'm just going to make this an American thing because that's really what the problem is. We in America live in a society where overindulgence is the norm. Overindulgence in everything from drugs, alcohol, sex, food, what have you. Everything the more of it, the better. I mean, in Texas, it's a whole thing. Everything's bigger in Texas. Like we know it is an American culture to just be greedy. And so we look at, things, we look at fitness as like in a negative way because it doesn't allow us to just overindulge. Fitness requires us to hold us to a level of accountability that most people are not capable of holding themselves to. I'm going to keep it real. One of the reasons why, and this kind of goes into my next tip, one of the reasons why it's so hard for so many people to really reach their fitness goals is because the accountability piece is highly lacking. And it's not necessarily always something that you can do yourself. You may need some help, and that is nothing wrong with that. But the biggest portion or the biggest piece of it is y'all see me struggling trying to bread these shrimp here because this breading is gone, baby. It is gone, and I'm kind of packing it on here so that it makes sure it sticks. We are going to be putting these in the air fryer again, and so we don't want all of the breading to come off. We want it to stick in here. That's why we're using our wet batter. All right. So I'm going to keep these on our plates. I'll get the air fryer basket and move these over so that we can cook them. They're going to cook really quickly, maybe 8-10 minutes at the most. All right. Go ahead and move this out the way. All right. So our last fitness tip, and then it's strictly question and answer. To my basket though, y'all, I'm going to spray a little coconut oil non-stick spray. Stick with the coconut theme. All right. So our last tip is work with a professional. And I know that people can probably give me the side eye as a personal trainer telling people, oh, work with a professional, because y'all probably think, oh, you're just trying to promote your business. Facts, I am. I mean, if you have a business, why wouldn't you promote it? However, as someone who has been on a extreme fitness and wellness journey, as someone who has lost weight, a bunch of weight, over 100 pounds on my own, and then gaining over half of that back, and then going back and losing it again, I can tell you the difference in why I have been able to keep majority of my weight loss off is because working with a professional literally changed my life. It gave me a completely different perspective on what living a healthy lifestyle looks like. Because once I had somebody who can look me in the face, or that I had to look in the face every week, and be able and send them my pictures every single week, embarrassing pictures of my fat and rolls and all this kind of stuff. Like I realized, like, okay, Terry, this isn't something you just do to get to a certain dress size or to, get to a certain number on the scale. This is something that it's a lifestyle. It really is a lifestyle. I know it's so cliche, but it's just like you have to figure out how this lifestyle is going to work for you. And so not only was I able to learn so much from working with a professional, I was able to figure out how this is going to be implemented into my life in a very realistic way. Because again, when you have your mind set to, let's say you a woman who is 250 pounds and you're like, oh my God, I want to be 175. So all you're thinking about is this number. I just need to get to this number. You're going to do whatever it takes to get to that number. You're not thinking about sustainability. You're not even thinking about how your methods to get to this weight may be harming you hormonally. It may be jacking up your digestive system because you cut every single thing out of your diet that you actually need. You're not thinking about all of these things. So working with a professional is huge. And working with a professional can look so many different ways. It's not just a personal trainer. One thing I love about having health insurance is you could go ahead and get you or you can get a consultation with a nutritionist. A registered nutritionist or dietitian is a huge benefit. Not all of them are created equally, just like not all doctors are created equally. However, if you can find someone who is not just going to tell you just to take away everything, somebody who's not crazy talking about don't eat no fruit or nothing like that, someone who's realistic. If you can find someone like that, they really teach you nutrition and they teach you why it's important to not or take away everything, why restriction is actually not a good thing. There's so many studies that showing that the way we're looking at weight loss and health is detrimental to us and our progress. There's so many things. I can go on a tangent with that, but working with a registered dietitian is huge, and it's more often than not, it is covered by your health insurance. Of course, you can work with a professional or certified personal trainer like myself. That person can also help you with nutrition. Technically, personal trainers should not be giving you meal plans, but we do. But they can actually coach you with nutrition, talking about macros, giving you ideas for recipes, all types of different things. There's so many ways that nutrition coaching can look. And not only can a certified personal trainer help you with that, but a person who's also like an online coach. So you can meet somebody in person, or you can have an online fitness coach, depending on you. And depending on the level of accountability you need, you determine if online or in person is better for you. Also, professionals that you should look to work with that most people don't even think about when they are talking about a fitness journey is a therapist. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of the reasons why we can't reach our fitness goals is because we got a lot of emotional and mental baggage that we're holding on to. Um, most people have an emotional attachment to food. I personally feel that about 95% of us emotionally eat. And emotionally eat does not look like, oh my God, I broke up with my boyfriend today, I'm eating a whole carton of ice cream. No. Emotionally eating is something as simple as, ooh, I just got a raise at my job and I'm about to go out here and celebrate, right? So I'm happy and I'm eating something that is going to, make me even happier. Because guess what? These carbs, they trigger cortisol to kind of blow up, and then now we happy. So there's a whole science behind why we crave what we crave and all other kind of stuff. But work with a therapist. They're going to change your life. They're going to make you or help you find other ways to cope without using food. And then lastly, the other professional that I think most people should consult when looking to do a health and wellness journey is a primary care physician. So let me say this caveat. And some people might beat me up for saying this, but I don't care. Do not go to a regular MD thinking that they're going to tell you what to do to lose weight, how to eat to lose weight. Yes, a doctor has learned some things in medical school, maybe about nutrition, but they are not a nutritionist. everybody has a specialty, right? And just because you might know how to make sure I maintain my health markers, like my blood pressure and all other kind of stuff, doesn't mean you're going to help me lose weight in a healthy way that's sustainable. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people go to doctors and their doctors putting them on these extreme diets because the doctor just wants them to get to a certain BMI. No, you want to go to your doctor because you want to get you checked out, get your blood work done, make sure you're not deficient in any type of vitamins or minerals or things. Get your blood work done to see if you have your hormones in check. Again, for women especially, but men and women, because men can have either a lack of testosterone or too much estrogen, and that can affect your weight loss as well and your ability to gain and retain or even gain and retain muscle. So we always want to check our hormone levels if possible. We always want to make sure where our blood levels are, because that can be the make or break you thing when it comes to this whole losing weight situation. All right, y'all. So I went ahead and put my, here, let me open this camera. I went ahead and added my coconut shrimp to the basket. So here they are. I'm going to add them to our air fryer. Put it in here for about 8 to 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes on about 350-ish. We'll check on them. All right. Let me get back up here in these comments because I did see someone have a question. But those are my tips, y'all. Those are my tips. Let's see. Oh, Yummy. I sent you a gift off your list. Did you get it? No, I didn't. I did have my echo go off, but I have to check and see if anything was delivered today. Thank you so much. If I will open it on live. I will not open it off camera. Brian Mason is here. He says, "What's up, good people?" We got Theo saying, "I'm still dreaming of the steak you cooked last time. That steak was so good, y'all. I made a steak the next day. I still have a steak in my fridge. It might get cooked today. It might go in the freezer. I don't know." Yvette says, "Want to lean out, but also want to keep the shape. How, sis? Like, how much cardio is needed?" So when it comes to leaning out literally means losing body fat, right? You do definitely want to implement more cardio into your regimen. Personally, if your heart is beating and you have a pulse, you should be doing cardio in addition to lifting weights. Okay. If you are trying to bulk, so which means if you're trying to gain muscle, you don't necessarily need to do a whole bunch of cardio. Maybe 15 minutes a day for about 3 to 5 days a week, right? Let's say you want to lean out though, like Yvette says. This is when you really want to up your cardio, because upping the cardio is going to help burn the fat, right? So let's say you were doing 15 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week. I would say for those 5 days a week, you want to do at least 30 to 40 minutes of cardio. It might sound like a lot, but if you're in the gym lifting weights for 45 minutes to an hour and then another 30 minutes a day, 3 to 5 days a week, I would preferably more, 4 to 5 days, you're going to see yourself lean out. You're going to see yourself lean out, as well as cutting the carbs just a little bit, not too much. You don't cut them out. You just cut them a little bit. The steak was bomb. Thank you, y'all. That steak was bomb. Question: what do you suggest as a step 1 on fitness journey, aside from deciding to change? Meal plan, trainer? Trainer / nutritionist. What tip was that? Tip 3? 3 or 4? Yeah, tip 3. Tip 4, nutrition is the most important part. So the reason why I say nutritionist or trainer is because that is the area in which you want to focus immediately. Immediately. Do not think that, oh, I want to lose weight, let me just go ahead and get in the gym, and you don't change anything about your diet. Yeah, you'll see some little bit of progress here and there. You might see a little body recomposition. You might see, because you are getting active, especially if you're starting from square one, you might find yourself like kind of losing a little body fat and being a little bit more defined muscle in a muscular way, you're not going to see a whole lot of progress. And so, and also you want to be able to make sure that you are aiding your efforts is the best way possible. So I would say start with a trainer or nutritionist and work on a realistic or create a realistic meal plan for you to eat. So if that's just learning how to count your macros and figuring out how to do that, or if the nutritionist or trainer is going to give you like an actual diet plan, go for it. Hopefully that answered your question. Derek says, my daughter doesn't like coconut. She doesn't know what she's missing. You know what? I used to not like coconut either. And then as I've gotten older, I've become obsessed with it. Yvette says a professional is a must. Yes, it is. Waiting for my favorite show to go live at 7. Yes, that's Smoke and Talk. Y'all going live today. I will check y'all out. Mr. Craig says eat better, do better, feel better. That's right. Brian Mason says we have to look at the fact that we eat for nutrition, not taste and fulfillment. Absolutely. So let me check my shrimp. Ooh, these gonna be good. Okay. So the whole point of my channel is to show you that you don't have to eat in a very boring way to be healthy. However, something that kind of changed my whole mindset about this fitness life and, you know, how I eat and what I'm eating is when it clicked to me, food is fuel. Our bodies are literally like cars, okay? And in order for the car to work, what you need in the car? Gas, fuel. If you want your body to work, you literally have to feed it. You have to feed it. And you want to feed it in a specific way. And that way is really going to be specific to you because everybody's body is different. Everybody can't eat. You know, you have some people that are sensitive to cow dairy. Some people, they can eat it all. Some people, they're very sensitive to pork. And some people, they can't get enough pork. So everyone's very different. And so nutrition will look different for everybody. But at the core of it, if you're trying to lose weight, you got to be in a caloric deficit. If you're trying to gain weight, you got to be in a caloric surplus. That's the formula. That's the secret to success. That's it. That's it. That's all. Of course, there's some nuances in there, but that's as simple as it gets. Mona says our primary docs are not in the biz of prevention. I mean, mic drop there. So that's why I say you go to your primary care physician to figure out where you are health-wise, getting your full panel blood work done, if they will allow you, because I will say this, I have been trying to get my hormone levels checked for like well over a year, and I can't seem to get my OB to do it for me. So you might, depending on your doctor, you might have to go to like a hormone specialist. I will say this, I've been told by OBs that for the ladies, if you are on any form of birth control, whether it's the pill, any type of IUD, all that kind of stuff, it does affect your hormones. And so they claim that if they check your hormones, your birth control could affect the results, which, I mean, it makes sense, but I still want to know what's going on there, okay? And also, if you do find yourself doing all this, let's say you are eating, you know, you're eating your macros, you're eating a balanced diet, you working out, like you hitting all these different things and you're not seeing anything happen, that's when I'm going to say, when the last time you had your blood work done? Because it's something else going on in your body that we don't know. And we gotta make sure we get going. All right. Yes, I am out west. I am in Arizona. How do you cardio with AFAB? I don't know. Can you explain the question? I don't know the question. I don't understand. Not eating will make you gain weight. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So in the beginning, you might find that restriction is going to help you lose weight, of course, because at the end of the day, like eating at a caloric deficit, it will cause the weight to come off. What we don't realize is your eating habits determine how not only how your metabolism works, but your hormones as well. So once you start restricting and not eating enough food, your metabolism has to make up for itself. And so that's when you're going to have situations where it's going to digest the food very slowly because they don't know, your body doesn't know when it's going to refuel again, right? So it got to hold on to everything as much as possible. This same concept goes when you're not hydrating enough. Our body is about like 70% water. Our organs, everything is made up with so much water, right? When you find yourself not drinking enough water to hydrate your body, you start retaining that water. And then you start feeling yourself being bloated and all these different types of things. So make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you're eating enough food, especially protein. Protein for both men and women. We need protein. You need fats. And you need carbs. You need it all. You need it all. Derek, if you could re-ask your question, I'm a little slow. I don't think I understand. Yes, my trainer includes a meal plan along with check-ins, workout plan, everything. You got a good trainer. I do not recommend any trainer that can't help you with nutrition. And your nutrition help will look a variety of different ways. Doesn't mean it has to be like an actual meal plan. It can just be nutrition coaching, helping you figure out what works for you. But if your trainer is just giving you workouts and not giving you any type of guidance nutritionally, fire their ass, okay? And tell them I said so. They can call me because they ain't worth nothing. AFib is an irregular heartbeat. So how do I do cardio with that? You can do cardio. It's really more so about like your comfort level. So I would say some people, okay, you can use like a tracker, like a heart rate tracker to kind of see what's going on. It's not that you can't do cardio. You probably just don't want to push yourself too much so that you are increasing your heart rate too high. You don't need your heart rate to go that high anyway, maybe 25% higher or whatever. But let's say your normal resting heart rate is at like between 60 and 75. Like if you get your heart rate to like 120, 130, you're doing something, right? So, but you don't want to go all the way up to like 170, 190. Then you probably about to have some issues. So you can get a watch. They're not the most accurate, but they help you as a guide to see where you are. There's different types of watches. I have an Apple Watch that I use. I've had a Fitbit before. I've even had, oh Lord, I can't remember the name of it, but you used to have to put like a little strap around here, right underneath your heart. And then it transmitted like what your heart rate was to the watch. I like that. I like them all, honestly, and they all have different features and whatnot. So use something like that to keep track of your heart rate. I would also consult with your doctor to ask them, like, is there a specific level you shouldn't go above so that you don't necessarily have any issues in that way. But it doesn't mean you can't do cardio, because cardio is amazing for heart health. And so actually the more cardio that you do, it probably will help with your heart health. You just, again, don't want to push yourself too far. Mona says, yes, it will, Brian. Our bodies will hold on to fat stores and not lose weight. Yep. Your body will store fat if you don't eat a balanced diet. Absolutely. I'm really feeling this talk today. It's got me motivated. Come on, sis. Let's go. I love to hear that. That warms my heart. That does. Ooh. Y'all. Look at there. Yes. I'm about to play. All right, y'all. Feel free to ask your questions, but I am going to plate because these shrimp are done. Let's see, 12:43. We're doing good on time. Yes, I'm so happy with everybody who's asked questions thus far. Let me know in the chat if y'all are enjoying these tips and tricks of the trade, having an opportunity to talk fitness. This is something that I am extremely, extremely passionate about. One of the Number one, I believe, top three at least, causes of death for Black women in my age group and above are all related to wellness, are all related to how we're eating, our movement, things of that nature. Both my grandmothers died of heart disease. And so, again, it's something I'm extremely passionate about because in real life, their heart problems could have been prevented. But because of, lack of proper nutrition, movement, and things of that nature, we have those types of things happening. People dying of heart disease and things of that nature. So, we're all getting older. Nobody's getting younger. And it's really just a matter of figuring out what works best for you. Everybody is not going to have the same fitness journey. It's not going to look the same. I'm trying to make it cute. My plating, I'm trying to make it cute for y'all. And let me put this on here so y'all can see what I'm doing here. It didn't add it. All right. We got some comments in the chat. I'm going to pull those up in just a minute here. Here, so we got our shrimp. I'm just adding several to the plates. Here, I got some Thai chili sauce. I was going to make a sauce, but I was like, girl, I don't feel like doing all that. Not today. Not today. So our shrimp has gotten really nice and this great brown color on it. Put several. You can have this for like an appetizer anytime. Okay. I'm going to add a little bowl here because we're going to use some Thai chili sauce, sweet chili sauce. You can get, so I went and got the Asian brand because y'all know I think I was Asian in my former life or something. So you can, but they have all different types of brands. I did find that the Asian brand, so one of the things that I do, this is a free tip for y'all. One of the things that I do when I grocery shop, I usually, especially when I buy stuff like this, I'm always looking at the labels. I'm always looking at food labels because I want to know how much fat everything has in it, how many carbs, how much added sugar, if there's any protein, all of that, because it all matters whether I am tracking my nutrition or not. These are things that I do to keep me on track with maintaining my health and keeping my health a priority. So I will say the other brands, like the store brands, they had less sugar in it, but y'all, I didn't add no sugar to this stuff, so it's fine. Try to be mindful of how much added sugar you're eating, but it's not necessarily a requirement to completely take out added sugar out of your diet. I'm going to add in a little bit more of our cilantro, and then we're going to be done with this. These look good. I can't wait to taste, a little something. Remember, we added, here is our air fried coconut shrimp. We added a little jerk seasoning, both wet and dry, to this. Got a little lime juice and the wet batter. We added some, green seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder. Y'all, this is going to be good. Okay, so I'm about to debunk something. One of my good friends in the chat is saying, I wish healthy food was not more expensive. So, contrary to popular belief, healthy food is not expensive. Y'all, healthy food is whole, nutritionally dense food. So that means being in your produce section, being in the meat department, all of those. If you buying chicken wings to fry on Sunday, if you buying greens to cook in ham hocks, if you buying cheese, if you're buying all of these things to eat the foods that we grew up on, you can buy the foods to live a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't require you to buy low fat this and gluten free that, like all of these extra things. A lot of that stuff, y'all, is processed garbage. It's garbage. A lot of things that's marketed as healthy foods, it's literally a marketing ploy. Literally a marketing ploy. Don't believe you got to break the bank to be healthy. Would it be nice to eat like grass-fed beef and organic everything? Absolutely, because we know they be adding extra stuff in our food. But look, I eat what I have access to. And so I'm going to eat, fresh things as much as possible, or frozen vegetables, fresh vegetables, frozen vegetables. I try to stay away from canned goods because it has lots of sodium in it. I try to cut up my own vegetables to help stick with the lower cost. There's so many different ways. It does require a little bit extra effort, but if budgeting is more important to you, then you're going to find the time to prepare what you need to have a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't require a whole lot of money, especially if you're eating the basics like chicken and fish, shrimp. This shrimp cost me a pound of these shrimp. It wasn't even $10. It was $8.99. Now, granted, that's not extremely cheap, but it could be more, right? A steak, those steaks that I bought, now that was more expensive. Those ribeye steaks, original price was $15.99. So this is a little bit less expensive. You can eat chicken, you can do the ground beef, all of those things, ground chicken, you can do ground turkey. All of those things are not necessarily that expensive. Also, rice is really cheap. Potatoes, cheap. Though all of these things, y'all see me cooking what I cook with. I'm cooking with regular foods that we all have access to. Rarely do you see me saying something is low fat and low this and low that, because most of that stuff, if they take it out the fat, they're adding in extra sugar. If they're taking out the sugar, they're adding in extra fat so that it has some flavor. So just be mindful of that. We want whole, nutritionally dense food. Those are the healthiest foods that you can eat. Okay. Derek Gaines says, I lost my mom, grandmother, and brother to heart attacks. Look, in our community, Mona says those shrimps look good. They look amazing. In our community, we can definitely stand to change our relationship with food and our practices with food, and that will help us prevent a lot of health problems. Are there some people who genetically will develop heart disease? Yes, but in real life, that's not the majority of us, y'all. It's based off of our inability to, or our lack of resources, and our inability to change the way that we're thinking about health and fitness. I just saw another comment I wanted to pull up. And I think it's why more low income people are most unhealthy. Yes, I will say this, food deserts and food insecurity is a real thing. I grew up in East Cleveland, Ohio. And to be perfectly honest, in my neighborhood that I grew up in, we didn't even have like a major grocery store. It was a grocery store that was owned by a different ethnic group. I'm just going to let y'all figure out what ethnic group I'm talking about. But there was a different ethnic group that owned all the grocery stores and all the corner stores in our area. The prices were increased and the quality of the food was not that great. So if I wanted to go to a major grocery store, we literally had to go outside of the city that I actually lived in to get it. It wasn't that far, maybe like 10, 15 minutes, but still. Janesta is in the building. Hello, Janesta. Thank you for being here. But I will say this in terms of like food insecurity in deserts, like you still can eat what you have access to. So even if you're in those areas where you have to walk to the corner store, if all they, or the little bodega down the street, I'm acting like I'm in Philly in New York. They might have like a little bodega on the corner. They still got canned vegetables. You can eat them canned vegetables. You can try to figure out the meats that are best for you, even if it is a little processed. It's levels to this. No, you probably can't, depending on your circumstances, just go to Whole Foods and buy everything from Whole Foods and Sprouts. But whatever you have access to, you just try to change your mindset and rethink things. And this is why I like to do these different recipes, because it gives us an opportunity to see what we can create something from nothing. We really can. We're very intuitive and we're amazing people. We can make it work, y'all. We can make it work. All right, I'm going to take a picture of these scrimps. Yes, ma'am. I said scrimps. We made some coconut scrimps. I am also I am also answering any fitness questions. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the chat. All right. Taking a little video. Ooh, these look good, y'all. All right, let's go. So we air fried. All the hood stores are bad for groceries. Yes, they are. They are, ain't they? Like everybody who grew up in if you grew up in like a lower income level, if you grew up in the hood, you know. All right, so I'm gonna dip my coconut. Actually, no, my first bite is gonna be just of the shrimp, then I'll dip it because I want to taste the flavor. Okay, so here we go. Mm. Mm. This is good. I can taste the coconut. I get the jerk. I'm glad I added that jerk. Oh, that jerk was good. All right, the chili sauce. Here we go. Oh, y'all, I'm ready. Okay. Mm. Y'all, this was so easy. So easy, so simple, and quick too. I was just running my mouth. That's why it took me so long. But at home, it's not gonna take you any time. I'm a type of person to wait until the food is cooked and not eat it, and then I clean up the kitchen. It's hard when you have to cook a whole lot, it's so hard. You find yourself not even eating anymore. Every holiday when I cook, I don't even want to eat because I done tasted and did all this type of stuff when I was cooking. Y'all got to try this recipe. It's super simple. Adding in that little jerk element to the coconut shrimp took it to a whole nother level. Highly, highly recommend. Make sure you get the little Asian brand of the sweet chili sauce because it's going to be more authentic. This is actually a Thai brand. They imported it. So we getting the real deal Holyfield. You can make your own Thai chili sauce, but y'all, I ain't feel like doing all that today. All right. So if there's no more questions, y'all have asked actually some great questions. So I'm so glad that y'all seem to enjoy this. We'll do it again, maybe in another month or so. And I don't have a topic or anything, but I want y'all to know because my whole goal and my vision for this channel is really to be a resource to people because I recognize that the type of service that I offer, it is technically a luxury service. Not everybody can afford a personal trainer. It is not cheap, but everyone can benefit from one. So I am here to be a resource to you. I want to answer your questions, so feel free to ask them, even if we're not having a fitness related live. I'm going to go ahead and answer any type of fitness question because 9 times out of 10, what I'm cooking is something that can be considered cooking for health, where it's going to be a little bit more health conscious. We're going to make sure that we're not adding in all the extra ingredients to kind of, take us further away from our goals. Yeah, Janessa said when she cooks, she's not hungry anymore. What Miss Peach Love say? I made your jerk wings in the air fryer today. Chris and his friends demolished them. Ooh, I'm glad y'all like them. They're spicy. I know he likes spice. So those jerk buffalo wings, make sure you check them out. I have some recipes on my website. Eventually, I'll get around to adding some more. But there are a few recipe or links in my bio or in the description of the videos. If I got the recipe from someone else on social media, I'll tag them so that way you can go to their website and look at the recipe. Also, feel free to look at the videos and kind of fast forward through them to see if there's any changes that I made, because sometimes I always like to add in my own little extra flair. But again, thank y'all so much for joining. Thank y'all for spending your Friday afternoon with me and making some coconut shrimp with our Thai sweet chili sauce. We also had our little fitness Friday. So we discussed fitness. I gave y'all 5 tips to how to start your fitness journey. I'll go ahead and give them to you one more time real quick. Tip number 1 is make sure goal setting. So make sure you set a SMART goal. Tip number 2 is creating a realistic plan to achieve your goal. Tip number 3 is to always track your progress, whether it's taking pictures, doing monthly measurements, things of those natures. Fourth tip, prioritizing nutrition. So making sure you are eating for your goal. It is the most important aspect of wellness. And then the last tip is working with a professional in any way you are able to do so. All right, y'all. Again, thank you so much. Kaya, I see that you are here in the building. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back here Sunday, I believe. I will be back on Sunday. So I'll go ahead and schedule a live and let y'all know what time I'll be here on Sunday. Of course, y'all know it's Sunday, so we're going to be having brunch. So be ready for a mimosa or 2 or 3. All right. See y'all later. Thanks again for joining me. Feel free to reach out to me on social media. My Sexy is Strong. You can come to my website, see the type of services I provide, or to ask questions. I do book or offer consultations, ways for you to chat with me if you want to work directly, whether it's on a monthly basis or a one-time basis. Just reach out to me off my website, or if you have a specific question, you can always email me. My website is www.mysexyisstrong.com. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me, and I will see y'all Sunday. Have a good one.